this.
You want?
Woo! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, it's the beautiful thing to see me on your picture tube. It's not a dry seat in the house, baby. And when you see gorgeous George, you feel like you want to erupt like a volcano. Tonight, we're doing the Gorgeous George Show, featuring the usual suspects. Me as Gigi, the most beautiful, gorgeous creature on the face of the earth. Kay Lazar, how bizarre, is in the house, dressing up, getting ready to tantalize and motivate you all with his new invention. It's called, what is it called? Pumpkin spice beer. Then over here we have, well, we know about Mr. Watt as Cluke Loams, and he's got the broom ready to sweep, do a sweepy sweepy. Actually, do that recite, well, you probably forgot that little thing you did before with the sweepy sweepy. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got that, and then we have and then we have an unexpected person right in the back there, known as Mr. Roger Kohler, who's in the house as well tonight, and we're going to talk to you all about various and wondrous things. And Mary Lou, I know you're fingering yourself right now, holding to every word I'm saying, and it's not my fault that I'm so beautiful and gorgeous. You're strumming it, and we want to strum it with you, baby, because it is what's causing all of this.
This is almost like the James Corden show. It's almost that good.
All right, so that's perfect cue out. And we're going to do a little something right now in character. You guys want to come up a little closer? Let's do it right now. Getting a seat? Okay, here, have a seat.
Two clones, and I'm not afraid to beat ass with a broomstick. But we don't need to do that anymore because
Right now, Kay Lazar, how bizarre! What are you doing back over there? Are you baking a cake, or are you bartending? What are you doing back there?
I'm making myself a cappuccino.
Oh, cappuccino.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is in that cappuccino? Have a seat. Grab a chair. Have a seat.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I put my computer on the seat.
All right, we'll get to
But
that in a second.
I believe seats should be.
Well, seats ought to be used, and then
Used
I mean,
for
like
sitting.
it's not a dry, it's not a dry
That
seat,
was-
so make sure the seat's not wet.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying, where have you been? Well, Josephine, I have been here.
I have an aura around me.
I have been there. I have been everywhere. And what I've been doing, I've been waxing the mahogany, and I've been blowing into the steel breeze of the bristles of the pube, making it accentuate and positively liquetiate all of the liquid and fluid coming out of that vivai, killer.
Yeah.
Kevin, give me some anecdotes. Tell me what's going on with your life.
I'm going to be in a new play, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I don't play Ichabod Crane or the Headless Horseman, but I'm in it.
Okay. All right. He's not the headless horseman. Okay.
And what else? I'm trying to learn new dance techniques and stuff.
Okay.
I wish we had a dance floor and I'd do it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of dance technique is it?
Or tap dancing.
Oh, tap dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a knee replacement, or I'm getting a knee replacement. I should
Are you?
say. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to use up the old knee as best I can.
Okay.
You know,
So, are you going to do some Fred Astaire for us?
dancing on.
Okay.
Ragtime.
I'm only on the chair because you cut off my head here, but now if this was a regular place, I could.
Okay, and all you need now is like a little thing
Yeah,
you're
not-
fooling around with, like a
not
what do
bad
you call
for a
it?
75-year-old
hulu.
man.
What do you call those things? Hulus. You know what they call it. What's that thing when you twirl around?
Oh, the hula hoop.
Hula hoops. Yeah, hula hoops.
Yeah.
That's all you need is a hula hoop. That's
Yeah.
what you need. What
I
were we
don't
doing?
like this light.
Well, you don't like the light, but I like the light for clarity. Okay.
Well, now you can. Now,
Well, we have clarity. We have
now you can
ghosts
actually
and
see
speed.
me. I was actually in the dark.
In the door. Okay.
See
All right.
the light.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
you know
so
what I'm talking about.
yeah. So anyway,
This is the cappuccino, so good.
is it? Does it bring whiskers? It puts hair on your chest?
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, hamburger. This is my Jackie Gleason,
Okay.
the cappuccino.
Okay, that's good. All right, so we have a lot going on here. It's September. It's time, Labor Day. We're all in labor. I just gave birth to twins, and they went down the toilet. Nice chocolate twins went down the toilet. What can we say?
What?
Yeah, it was, and I was in labor. We men can be in labor too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Well,
called, we can be in
Did
labor
you guys
also.
hear what the twin said to his brother? He said, "Get out of my womb."
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't that get out of my dreams and get into my womb?
Get into my heart and
Oh,
get
okay.
out of my womb.
Okay, that was a
Did you
Billy,
hear about-
Billy Ocean tune there. Yeah.
You know that I remember these Siamese twins. They used to go to England every year. You know why? So the other one could drive.
Yes. Now you see, when we have two heads thinking as one, we don't need to be on the same body. Two heads is one. Don't need to be on the same body.
Two
but
heads are better than
yeah,
one, but not on the same
not on the
body.
same body. Not on the same body. Yeah, okay. Not. Yes. So anyway, that works out. So yeah.
And
then-
what else I've I actually saw Frankie Valli recently.
You did?
in concert.
You see the Four Seasons too?
Well, let me tell you something. The Four Seasons
Oh, what
are
a night?
not the same Four Seasons
Okay.
from 60 years
They're not the
ago.
Four Seasons. They're the.
You would need a flashlight and 2 shovels if you want to
Well,
see those guys.
Are they? Are they the
They're
Four?
young guys and they sing just the
So
same.
they've changed the name to the Four Seasonings.
Now I'll tell you how it was. If
Okay.
you're watching the old Ed Sullivan shows, there's the Four Seasons and the lead singer is Frankie Valli. Now Frankie Valli's, I think, the only one that's still singing.
Is it?
And thus they have 4 young guys, like our age, in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Four Seasons, but they have no personality. Frankie Valli is singing all those.
Oh,
now
what
let me
a
tell you
night.
something. Let me tell you something. About
Late
Frankie Valli.
December back in 23.
He's
Go ahead.
he's still a good song. I don't know how he's 89 years old. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's 89 years old. I don't know how he keeps his hair so black.
Okay. Shoe
This
leather.
doesn't tell-
Shoe leather.
Shoe
That's what
polish.
it is. Shoe polish. Yeah.
No, let me tell you.
Leather.
Now let me tell you
Shoe leather,
something.
shoe polish. So.
So there's a show on Broadway called Jersey
Boys.
Jersey
Jersey,
Boys,
yeah.
and it's the fake versions of. It's a good show,
Yeah.
but I thought while he's still alive, I might as well see the real guy. And I saw him, and this is the sad part. This is the sad part. I'm getting older, and I went to see a lot of shows over the last 20, 30 years because these guys are on their farewell tours, or they might be dead at this
On
point.
their deathbed.
So
Yes.
So Frankie Valli might be the last rock and roll singer that I liked in the day that I haven't seen yet. So to go see him, yeah. So I went to see him. I saw him at the Norfolk Scope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know who discovered the Four Seasons?
Oh, over here?
Discovered the
Who's
Four
that?
Seasons.
Joe Pesci.
Oh no, yeah, okay. Joe Pesci did. Okay.
Did he? Okay. I had no idea.
You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? What do you mean I discovered the Four Seasons?
Yeah.
I said this once before on the show. Imitating Joe Pesci is very easy.
Yeah.
If you could imitate Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
What a maroon! What's up, Doc? Then you just move it a little bit, and move a little faster. You got Joe Pesci.
How am I funny? Do I tell jokes?
Yeah. Another guy, old time singer, you might remember Louis Prima. He
Yeah.
had the hit song "Just a Gigolo" that David
Yeah.
Lee Roth eventually
Yeah.
had, and he was.
Well, I like David Lee Roth's version better.
Well, actually,
Yeah,
it's the
I
same
mean, yeah.
version pretty
Same
much.
song, yeah.
So Louis, if you remember Louis Prima sounded like this. He got one of his
Right,
big hits
yeah.
was "I Wanna Be Like You."
Yeah.
From
Oh,
the Jungle Book. Now listen,
Yep.
if you kind of take that voice and you kind of move it up a little. You got John Travolta. I mean, it's weird. I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm so
Tonight's show,
intelligent.
by the way, is being brought to you by Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bills Orange Blossom.
Wait a minute.
To hell with the Buffalo Bills. It's all about the Cowboys. But that being said, Orange Blossom. And what the Orange Blossom does, it gets in your throat. And it makes you, well, it makes you
No, you're
tingle in
talking
your
about
throat.
the Chinese restaurant, Orange Blossom.
Is
No,
that
yeah,
Chinese restaurant?
I'm thinking of the train, the Orange Blossom Special. Look out!
But-
they're coming. But also, Buffalo Bill is also not only the famous guy in the Western show, but that they made movie about. But also, Buffalo Bill is isn't he like the villain in Silence
And
of the
also,
Lambs?
Yes.
With
also,
the tucking and
Yeah.
and the
Kroger
fierce
free
You know who's
skim
famous?
milk.
That's the
Ted
love
Levine.
show.
Kroger free
Ted Levine.
skim milk. Also brought to you
Who's
by
a
the
friend
Grocery
of
Store.
my cousin, Ted
Really?
Levine. They live in Venice. He lives in Venice, California, and they go to Gold's Gym.
Wow.
My cousin Carl, and he knows Ted Levine. In fact, all the big stars go to that gym. Most famously, Arnold.
I'm
I'll be back. I'll be back with your little dog too.
I am the governor.
I'm the Terminator. I'm the Governor. I'm the Governor.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yes.
Oh, we got all the imitators here. It's almost like
I can't believe the media is always getting so tough. The media just gets so rough with me. I can't believe that the suppository that I took didn't stick. I took a massive suppository. Kayla, did you take one too?
No,
Of course you did.
no.
See, it's very simple. You take a suppository,
The
then take
book,
it up.
I know
Oh, hold
the
on,
book
was he-
suppository in Dallas.
He's doing
your
it.
favorite town.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's very simple. There's no dumps or no dumps. It's all shit.
Okay.
They're all
That's
a bunch
right.
of kooks. There's no black or white. There's only one America.
He's doing Barack Obama. I can't believe it.
Come
He's doing
on,
Barack Obama.
man. You can't see
No,
this
if you
guy.
want to do Barack Obama,
Black or
he
white.
sounds like this. There are no dopes. There are no shit. It's all shit. I was
Oh,
telling
very
this
fast.
to. I was just telling this to Michelle the other day.
Of course, probably my best imitation, I think, is
Yeah.
Spock, are there Klingons in your asshole? I feel Klingons going through my ass cheeks right now. Spock.
Yeah, I met him earlier this year.
That's probably my best imitation.
I met
Captain
Bill
Kirk.
Shatner.
Yeah.
Just earlier this year.
At the Comic-Con?
You
At
met
the
Bill
Comic-Con,
Shatner,
yeah, there's a
right?
picture of us,
Leave
yeah.
him up to us.
Well, he's the only one in the 90s now that are still living because we just lost a person that I've always said.
Guy you've seen in person. Tell him.
Well, I'll tell you the story. I was on The Price is Right back in 2006 with Bob Barker. Bob Barker was the person back in 2006 when I made my trip to Los Angeles, California, back in 06. And I didn't get as be a contestant, but you could see me on the aisle seat. And they didn't air it because they had the Briley or the Biley murder that
Sadly,
same
it was
time.
not
And
the
they didn't air
Briley,
it.
it was the
Briley or whatever. I don't know what it was.
the Harvey family.
Oh, Harvey family, but they had that thing going on, the Harvey
Well, I
family.
mean, that was very sad. Yeah.
You met Bob Barker? Is that who you
Yeah, I met Bob
Bob
Barker.
Barker?
I didn't meet him.
I thought you met Jimmy Buffett. I thought that's who you were going to say.
No.
Who's Jimmy Buffett?
Completely wrong.
Bob Barker and The Price is Right. Okay, The Price is Right.
Who's
So, well, Jimmy Buffett, Good Time Witches and Some of the Bitches.
I know.
I've seen them more than I care to see.
I know that.
Changes the latitudes,
He
so
says
we just
Jimmy
lost him
does
too.
boots in Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, he's in
So I mean, now we're losing too many people. We lost Bob Barker. We lost Jimmy Buffett.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman. Wee
That was a
Herman.
big loss.
Wee Herman.
Oh,
And I mean, wake me up before wee.
I remember his brother, Wee Wee Herman. It was really good.
I know you are, but
No, I've seen Pee Wee Herman.
What you got?
I saw Pee Wee Herman, not really in a concert type of thing, but I lived in New York for a month after I graduated from college, and I figured out a way to see the David Letterman show, and I looked in the TV guide who was going to be on, and I saw like about 4 shows, and one of the shows, the first show I went to was, I'd love to see Pee Wee Herman in person, and I mean, he was doing a TV show.
And we lost 2 wrestling superstars, Terry Funk. It's low to hear about
Have a
that.
beer.
This is.
You might like it.
I don't the pumpkin spice beer, man. I
Then
can't.
drink it. The worst that could happen is you hate it.
Well, I mean, I'll do that after I'm finished. Terry.
Actually, this is Halloween.
Yeah,
it is Halloween.
Terry
This is
Funk,
pumpkin
the
spice
wrestler that was a world champion, had a classic wrestling, battles with Flair and all that. We lost Terry Funk. Terry Funk, we lost him at 79 years old, and we also lost Bray Wyatt. So we lost him too. So these are two wrestlers that we've just lost. Listen, time keeps on slipping, but we live as we get older and we see these things happening. It kind of, you just got to put the brakes on. Say, stop.
We still have our
I want to go
memories.
back. I want to go back in time, and you just keep going, and you want to stop.
There's
You
a
wanna-
really good song.
You want to stop and put the brakes on.
In The Little Mermaid, there's a really good song, I Want the Good Times Back, that Ursula sings.
I want to go
And I
back.
actually had that on my answer machine.
I want to
a
go
couple
back
years
in
ago.
time and tell my youthful self the pitfalls and the tribulations that I had been through, and then we can have a redo. Be able to redo it all over again and get it right.
But you have to be able to
time
kick your own ass.
DeLorean.
Actually, if I had my life to live over again, I'd do it exactly the same way.
Wow.
You don't have any regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets.
No, actually, there are regrets.
We'll
You
have a
think
few.
at the time.
But when it's all said and done, I did it my way. Yeah. I know.
But no, I mean, but
Cheers.
For the most part,
Now you didn't pee in this, did you?
No,
You didn't pee in this? Okay. Cheers. Okay.
it's good stuff.
It's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a minute. I gotta tell you something about pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice has no pumpkin in it.
That is correct.
It has allspice,
Nutmeg.
cinnamon, nutmeg, and something else, Old Bay or something.
Doesn't have any pumpkin.
And let me tell you something about pumpkins. Pumpkins. Have you ever?
It doesn't have any
eaten a
pumpkin at all? I mean, come on.
There's no pumpkin at all in it.
No.
Not pumpkin spice. Now I tell you where they say I use a lot of pumpkin spice is in pumpkin pie. Now have you ever had a pumpkin pie and have you ever seen a pumpkin or even had a taste of a raw
Yeah,
pumpkin
yeah.
and they don't taste at all the same.
No.
In fact, you have to put all that pumpkin spice into a pumpkin to make it taste actually halfway decent.
Yep. Yeah. Very correct.
It's like coconut
Well-
almost.
Yeah.
I've had pumpkin spice in coffee, but pumpkin spice in beer, that's just a little too much.
It's like,
Pumpkin spice in
Okay.
coffee, but pumpkin spice beer, a little too much.
Okay, now we were talking about Corona, and a lot of you said it was a man's beer. I saw Liberace once drinking one. I saw
Let me tell you something.
Rock Hudson.
Let me tell you something. Just because you love Rock Hudson and Liberace, just because you want to be like them, doesn't mean that a man doesn't
I
drink.
wish I could
Corona.
play the piano. Like
Yeah,
that.
the man drinking Corona. Corona is the beer. Corona is the beer that everybody drinks. Man, woman, beast, creature, they drink a Corona because it's got flavor, and you drink 20 of those bad boys, and you can still keep your edge. Maybe floating just a little bit, but still keep your edge.
However, you ever had a Mexican beer called Tecate?
Tecate.
Yeah.
Tecate,
Let me tell you
Tecate.
something.
Tomato, tomato. Let's cut the whole thing off.
Dos Equis and
Dos Equis, yes.
And Tecate. You go to Mexico, and I've been to Mexico a few times. They
Watch for the worm.
You
Watch
won't
for the worm.
see. No, that's tequila. I know
Okay,
what you're
tequila,
saying. I actually
tequila,
had
okay,
that. I've never
okay.
opened it. It's just more for show.
Well, they probably put
But
that
let me
in
tell you
Tecate
about
too. You know.
the Tecate. I actually once I was in what's the
Tecate.
place? Where not
Tecate.
Acapulco, the other one, Tijuana.
Tijuana.
Outside of San Diego, and I said, "Do you have any Corona?" And they said, "What? Are you crazy?" And I mean, they knew American culture. I said, "What do you have?" I said, "We have Tecate." I said, "Tecate is good," and they said, "Yeah,
Well,
Tecate. Tecate is the Corona of Mexico."
Tecate, tomato,
Now, let me tell you something.
all the
The only celebrity-
Dos Equis also too is another good beer.
The only celebrity I've ever seen drink a Tecate in public was on the cover of Vanity Fair a few years ago. Sean Penn was drinking a Corona. So let me tell you something. Sean Penn,
Was drinking a Corona?
a real poser. Let me tell you something.
All right.
If Gorgeous George, Sean Penn, Mickey Rourke, and Andrew Dice Clay were all drinking Corona, you'd have the douchebag Mount Rushmore right there.
Oh.
Tell you something.
And
Let me add this to you right now.
Yes.
The only douche that you're doing is you're douching with some Massengale right now. Douching with the fucking Massengale, okay? And you know Massengale. You know.
I know all about
So
that.
yeah, because you've been douching with that.
In
Okay.
fact, my girlfriend,
All
you know
right.
my girlfriend? You actually know my girlfriend, Hortense Massengale.
Oh,
That's her name. That's her, I mean, that's her real name. Hortense
Oh,
Massengale.
Okay.
Sounds like Amanda Hug and Kiss.
No, there's Anita Mann. That's one of my girlfriends.
Don't you like Jack Me Off?
There's
No, just a minute.
Amanda Huggins, that's another one. What's the other one? Anita Mandalay. That's another one of my That's another one of my girlfriends.
No, aren't you best friends with Harry Balls?
Harry Ball.
Harry Balls?
We once did a show.
Seymour Butts.
We did a show.
Seymour.
We did a show once where we were doing like book talk or something. We were talking about books we've read, and it was all like
What was that?
It was
10
all,
minutes long?
yeah, it was like the who they that spotted them all by Who Flung Dog, the Yellow Runner by IP Freely,
That's
and they're all our favorite actors.
Listen,
Our
I
favorite
pee
writers.
like a river. I pee like a river. I pee freely. Because I can.
Well, most people can pee.
I pee freely.
They don't have
Because
a
I
law
can.
against
Because I
peeing.
can. Well, you can't pee in some certain spots.
Correct.
You can't pee in church. You can
Well,
fart, but you
technically
can't
you
pee.
could, you just wouldn't want to.
You can't pee because you got even in your own pew
You
because
might
you know.
piss people
No.
off.
Yeah, exactly. Piss them off.
Confucius say, man who farts in church, what man who farts in church sits in his own pew.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good one.
Confucius
Nice.
say.
Well, but when you fart, you make sure it's in your own pew.
Confucius say,
But peeing
man
is not
who-
allowed. You gotta take a cup for that.
Confucius
cover
say,
that.
man
Right
who
here.
goes to bed
Get a
without
cup.
wiping
Get a
his
cup.
ass wakes up with smelly finger.
Oh, very good, yeah.
Kevin, you know something?
Yeah.
When you listen, I'm glad you mentioned that because when I had this large shit-tastic, and when you wipe your ass, you want to make sure you have like about 4 toilet papers around. You want to make sure it's thick
Yeah.
because you want to get in there and get that shit out. 4
Yes.
thick pieces of toilet paper
Yeah.
and get that shit taken right out. And if it gets on your fingers, oh my god.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh,
you
you
just
gotta
gotta
see
get it
it.
out there and just wipe it off totally and then get some lava soap.
Yeah.
And make sure
That's
lava
what you
soap
need.
and make sure it comes right off.
Correct.
But
Don't
Where's
touch.
the-
Don't
Get
touch.
get some Bounty Quicker Picker Upper in your ass and make sure it comes right out. 4 thick rolls of that shit and your ass will be clean.
We had a saying when we were
Yes,
kids.
yeah.
We had a saying when we were kids: don't touch dog shit even with gloves on.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, somebody's got to touch it.
So what? There was a girl.
Someone's gotta touch it.
Oh, I tell you who
Like-
touches dog shit.
The footers, you know.
A guy runs into a bar, a drunk guy, and the bartender says, "What the hell are you doing with the dog shit in your hands?" He goes, "I just wanted to show you what I almost stepped into."
Oh.
That's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah. No.
Somebody likes those jokes.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's good.
Well, did you hear about
They're on
the
the
two
retread,
Eskimos?
but
Oh,
they
wait,
still
wait,
good
yeah,
jokes.
let's go.
You hear about the 2 Eskimos?
Yeah.
No.
They say, ooh, it look like dog poop. And they say, smell like dog poop. Tastes like dog poop. Oh, good thing we not step in it.
Well, anyway, so that's that. So Bob, going back to Bob Barker. Bob Barker, we said that he was the oldest person, the oldest celebrity that I knew that was still alive. Of course, we just lost Bob Barker. He was a vegetarian. He was a vegetarian. He did not eat any meat.
All right.
He was a man of the world, and he was a great. I mean, he was, of course, The Price is Right. He was what he's famous for. He's famous for that, and he's also done some other thing. And of course, Happy Gilmore, him and Adam Sandler. Happy
yeah.
Gilmore. That was classic.
Yeah.
That was classic, and he was going to town on Adam Sandler.
Did you? You know,
Yeah.
it's even funnier than that. And maybe we put this in the comments. There's there's some sort of like heart fund sort of telethon or something, and there's a reunion of Bob Barker, and he's 91 at the time, and Adam Sandler, and they get into another fist fight, and they're like in the hospital room with the monitors.
I saw that, yeah, I saw
That's
that, yeah.
hilarious.
I haven't
That's
seen
even
that.
funnier. Than
Yeah,
this.
I saw that.
Adam Sandler gets so mad at him, he takes the pads and puts them on his chest and everything.
Oh, wow.
I saw that. So.
What about the fight with Stephen Colbert and that other guy? Bruce Willis and Stephen Colbert.
Oh, Bruce Willis?
Yeah, there's one of those on YouTube.
Is Bruce
It's
Willis?
brutal.
I mean, Bruce Willis has got some health issues.
He has aphasia, which is a type of dementia. So,
Okay, so Bruce Willis has got some. Yeah, he has dementia.
I've actually
He's got
seen.
some kind of
I've
stuff.
actually been around Bruce Willis 3 times. I saw him in Las Vegas at the Buster Douglas fight. I saw a lot of celebrities that day, and then I never spoke to him because I understand he's kind of a
What year
badass.
was that? What year was that?
Like 1990, and then a few years later, I'm at King's Dominion, and the guy kind of looks like him, and we just stare at each other, and then it looked a little like him. He had blonde hair, and I understand he was making the movie The Fifth Element at the time. He had blonde hair in that movie. He wasn't completely bald, but he was only in town because Demi Moore was making a film called G.I. Jane in Richmond.
Yeah.
And then years later, I actually did make a movie with him called The Jackal, and I saw him a lot. But I never spoke to him, never met him, because he was kind of a standoffish guy.
Yeah.
But he was very talented. I always like his Wes Anderson movies, and the Die Hard.
Yeah.
Remember him in
Some of the
the,
Die Hard movies are good. What?
I remember in the 80s he had hair when he was in Moonlight.
Yeah, Sybil Shepherd.
Well, that's like everybody
Sybil
else.
Shepherd and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone thinks I'm going bald. I've actually had the same hairstyle for
Yeah.
for 30 years.
One thing I can
Actually,
say.
almost bald.
One thing I can say, when I'm in my 80s, I will still have a full crop of hair. You see this right here? This is real. I had a little haircut. I will have a full crop of hair. I ain't losing this hair.
Full crop of
Full crop of hair.
Well, let me tell you.
And when it sticks out like that, it'd be like
I have to
like a
say
rooster.
Something about that. See, I was mocking you for having a stripe in the middle of your hair. Now I have it.
There you go. That's what you get for
That's what
doing
you
it.
get.
Might buy a whole hair
That's what we're doing.
stripe.
First
Yeah.
crop.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about hair. Okay, I at the law firm that I work at, they all the other lawyers make a lot more money than me. They're a lot.
you're a law
they're,
firm.
they're a lot. They're maybe more than a foot taller than me. I'm only about 5'3" or so,
Oh.
and they're much more successful than me. They have more kids than me. They have wives and everything, and yet they look up to me because I still have a full head of black hair. Because they're all like
Because you
pulling
don't
their
have
hair
the
out
stress,
after all
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you something. When you're rich and successful and maybe like a producer or own a business, bald is a good look.
Right.
Well, I say this.
Makes you look serious.
When I was in the
hair is
90s,
kind of ridiculous. When hair is for the people who are
in
like
the 90s, I
Most
had
of
this
it,
strip of
yeah.
gray hair right here. In the 90s, we were doing the show, I had that little gray hair right there
Yeah,
too.
you did.
I've had it there for a long, long time. And now, in the past couple of years, it's just,
yeah,
and it goes,
yeah.
but I ain't gonna lose it. See, at least, a lot of these people can talk about, my hair. You know what? I have a lot of vanity, and my hair is staying right where it's at, baby.
Yeah.
And the ladies can put their hands through it, and they can go ahead and do some other things
Good
too.
job, vanity.
Yeah, the
Oh,
vanity,
your
and
hair.
and they can put their hands through other places
If
too.
you were a cartoon
and my
character,
crotch. Go ahead.
do you have like a stripe there too?
Actually, I had this.
Don't show us, but just tell
I
us.
had this one girl that wanted to dye my pube. I said, you know what? I'll dye my pube if you kiss my monster.
Now, Gorgeous George, I've never asked you this on any show we've ever done. Does the does the carpet match the drapes?
Well,
A big stripe.
no,
coming up.
you know what I did? I did the Andre Agassi. I did the Andre Agassi, and I shaved it off.
Oh.
You know, all those years I found out. The same day I saw Bruce Willis at the Las Vegas fight, I saw Andre Agassi. I didn't know him. I didn't know really who he was. He had a big head of long hair, and then I read his, I think Brooke Shields' autobiography, and she said, "Oh, it was all a wig." Even when he was winning,
There's a wig.
yeah, it was all a wig. I mean, he's bald now, but
Okay.
he's like, I don't care anymore.
Oh, that is terrible.
Yeah, but it was.
I mean,
Can
he
you
had a
imagine being an
mullet.
athlete having to wear that heavy wig. It's almost like wearing a wig cap.
Well, I mean,
He
hell, the
was
damn.
bald the whole time. But
Yeah,
he
he
had
was
a
all
mullet
bald the
in
whole
the
time,
back.
yeah.
He had the
Well, look, I mean,
mullet.
listen, the damn wig party, the presidents. I mean,
The wig.
Washington and Jefferson were all bald, and they had those powered wigs on.
And wiggers.
Washington, well, I don't know. But Washington and Jefferson and Madison and Tyler, and they all had that, their powdered wigs on.
The last
You know why they
president
were
we had.
wigs
right
like
now-
our wigs? You want to know this? You know this.
What?
They were trying to combat all like fleas and
Oh, gosh, yeah.
all those things, lice, head lice. So they shaved their heads to prevent that. So then they put on the wigs to cover up their bald.
In fact, the
shaved
term
heads.
big wig comes from. I don't think it comes
Well,
from America. I think it
ladies,
comes
let me
from
let me
France.
say this to you.
Yeah.
I have a full crop, and my penis has a full crop. There you go. Good.
That was a good, wow.
That's just
Good
such
way
a great
to-
pickup line.
Yeah, it is.
Great way to sum it up.
Yes, you know what I also think too. Let me say this.
The good
I
purpose is-
tell you what, Ellen, you're sitting there, and you
Not
want
good.
Ellen, and you're sitting there right now, and you want somebody
No, I'm good. I'm
to
good,
make
brother.
your flowers grow.
Thank you, bro.
And Ellen, I'm going to tell you this: Gigi can make those flowers grow with one insertment. One insertment in that little hole, you'll have the ride of a lifetime, baby. You'll be riding Space Mountain, and you'll be riding Space Mountain with ooh, and I'll go oh, and you go ooh, that makes me feel so good, and I say yes, and you're sounding like Mickey Mouse, and that's the whole idea, to give you that extra erotic orgasm. That's good, that orgasm. Go ahead, Kevin.
I like that. Orgasm.
Orgasm.
Electrical.
Orgigasm.
Electrical.
Cheers. Yeah. What you doing?
Like, keep going.
Okay. So what? What's going on back there? You want to come a little closer to the camera? You want to show your face? I mean, I can barely see you.
Oh yeah. I'm doing fine. I want to give my best pickup line.
All right, let's hear it.
Uh-oh.
Hey ladies, can I ask you a question real quick?
No.
Do you think if I ate more vegetables, it would help me take a crap?
Wow, that's a great one. Has that worked for you yet?
Because when I saw your face, it looked like you just took a dump on my brain, and you're all I can think about. And I can't
This
wash you out.
guy is a stand-up comedian, by the way, in case you don't know that.
I need your number like a plumber
More
needs
of
a plunger.
sit-down comedian.
You know?
He's a stand-up comedian.
I can plunge my
Listen,
number and
you
can plunge me
remember on that
yours.
2-hour show we did? You were doing that sweepy.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now. I want to hear that sweepy.
Oh,
You know.
you want some
Oh,
now?
freestyle rap.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm gonna take the trolls out like a sweet because your videos make me sleepy like 4 or 5 hours away. I don't have time to play. I'll be working all day. That's why I gotta sweep you out like a broom because I'm cleaning up the room. You show up at my house, it'll be your doom. Yo, I'm so funny even when my nose is runny in the middle of the winter. I'm out here making money and you're out here just thinking about our show because we go psycho with the flows on the microphone. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
boy.
Yeah, boy. A little bit different, but got the idea and whatnot. Kevin, can you rap?
No.
You can rap?
Wait a minute. Rap.
Can you rap it? Can you rap it tight? Because we all rap it tight. I rap mine very tight.
Oh.
I rap it tight. I go like this. Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo!
I did not know these guys. Never met them before.
Well, I mean, I don't have one prepared. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, a lot of these rappers, they always say, I could make up a rap on the spot. I think they're like those people with the liar's poker, the dollar bills in the back pocket
Right.
that already
Yeah.
that already have something ready to go. Yeah.
All right. Now, for a white boy, I can't rap, but I'm going to do a little something. Get ready for it right now. You ready? This is going to be the highlight of the show. But of course, we already know the song anyway. For a white boy, watch me go. Watch me go. All I want to do is run my zoom, and that boom, boom, and shake that rump. And all I want to do is run my zoom, and shake that rump. I want to see the booty hop. Then I want to see the booty pop. No, yeah. All I want to do is run my zoom, and that boom, boom, and shake that rump. All I want to do is run my zoom, and that boom, boom, and shake that rump.
You're singing to the backs of heads right now.
We need to find some girls, man. Yeah. We'll be back next show with some
You
You
come
go-
to the
you-
wrong
you-
place.
you're gonna
You
be
come to the
what?
wrong place. if you want
Listen,
girlfriend.
I mean, it's educational.
I'm doing,
Where is the
saying?
number
Like,
2
why can't we
pencils?
get 'em?
Why don't we get the number 2 pencils out here and take some
They're
notes?
very sharp. I need my
Take some notes.
charger back there. You can. keep
Okay,
it.
we're going. Okay, we're going. Oh, you need that? Okay, yeah. Well, okay, that's good.
Whose milk is that?
That it was my milk. It's milk from Betsy the cow, and you need that. Okay, we'll get that.
I don't-
Are you all okay?
We're
So
rolling out. We got
I don't think
okay.
if he was,
Thank
okay, well we got another.
Oh, sure,
Okay, we got another 20 minutes, but okay, that's fine.
See you,
You need
pal.
this? Okay. Well,
Two things, yeah.
ooh, got 20 minutes. Can we? Okay.
we could keep the show going.
Well, hey, so
I
I
wanna keep the party
get this
going.
to you tomorrow. All right, this area here.
You can hold on. To
Okay, well I'll get you tomorrow.
you should
Okay.
put a commercial during this part.
All right.
No one cares.
So no one cares.
Nobody cares.
And-
can you call me? Can you text me?
Yeah. All right. So there you go with that. Let me just say this: we are about the show, and we will continue doing the show.
Can't keep a good man.
You know,
down.
and I'm not. I vow that when we're doing a show, it's about the show. It's not about anything else. And I don't want to get. I'll give people the room to say what they want to say, but right now, it's not about anything else. Not about naysayers. It's not about detractors. It's about Gorgeous George. And so when we do a comedy show, we do it about Gorgeous George, Kay Lazar, and that's how we do it. We don't say any substitutes. That's what we do. So that's the way we're going to roll, and that's how we're going to roll out. And we're going to do it. We got another few more minutes, another 15 minutes or whatever. So
roll it out like a roll of toilet paper.
yeah, well, I tell you what, you got to be able to wipe. You got to wipe that. You know what Red Fox said? You got to wipe that ass. Make sure you wipe that ass.
Wipe that ass.
Yes, wipe it clean. Make sure the asshole is nice and clean, glimmer and sheen, glimmer and shine.
You know what they use in rest homes? I found out.
Thermometers, right? They put
I
the
mean,
turkeys.
it's-
Thermometers.
They use these wipes with alcohol in them or bleach in them. I don't know what they have in them, but they evidently do a great job. They're better than just using dry toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah. And
Well-
and believe it or not,
Do the handy wipes work in the assholes? Handy wipes, you wipe the asshole.
I
with a
tell
handy
you
wipe?
something. Handy wipes would probably be better than. I'm just
Got a little alcohol burn in the ass cheeks.
You want to know something? I think
Alcohol
I
burn in
think
the ass
that
cheeks.
if you could invent a better toilet paper, then it's almost like creating a cure for baldness. I think people will flock to it because I don't think toilet paper does the job.
Right.
I mean, regular toilet paper. I mean, the only thing good I tell you about toilet paper is that it dissolves. That's why you can't flush Kleenex tissues because they would stop up the toilet.
Okay. Right. Well,
A lot of times you go into a really cheap place, like a cheap restaurant, like McDonald's or something, and they will have the bathroom, the toilet paper would be like 1 ply, not 2 ply. But then the people just wad it up anyway. It doesn't matter how many plies it is. Could be a triple ply. They're still gonna wad it up.
we ply it, baby. We ply it like wood. Wood. Morning wood. Morning wood.
And then
All right,
there's
so-
a Beatles song called Morning Wood, I think.
Yes, but
I once knew a girl.
when the morning wood gets crusty, when the morning wood becomes a turtleneck, and it's got some edges, coming out there. That's when you got to take care of that morning wood. And the bottom line to take care of it is swallow.
I know.
Swallow
I know
is the
that.
best way of taking care of that morning.
I know about more. I had a girlfriend a few months ago,
Yeah.
and she was from.
Get batter up.
She was from
Use
Sweden.
it baseball. Get batter
She's
up
from
that ball.
Sweden.
Hit it up.
Beautiful. And I said, what do you like about America? She said, oh, I like the the food and all that stuff, and how people are always nice and everything. I said, well, what do you don't like about America? I said, I've never seen a circumcised penis until I came to America. And I said, well, well, what's an uncircumcised penis look like? And she said, you ever seen Kojak wearing a turtleneck sweater?
Telly Savalas. Gotta love it. Telly Savalas, gotta love that.
Telly Saliva.
Yeah, there you go. Who loves you, baby?
Now you.
Who loves you, baby?
Now you were like telling me earlier about you like midgets, dwarfs.
Yeah, we were talking about midgets.
Yeah,
Who
tell
is
me
your
about it.
favorite midget?
Yeah.
We had a thing with tattoo. What's the guy's name again?
Hervé Villacek.
Hervé Villacek, and Vern Troyer. And I have a page on the Facebook fan club. Who is your favorite midget? And I said point blank, just like a pet, everybody should have a midget in their family. You have a pet dog, pet cat, pet rooster, pet bird. Should have a pet midget in your family. And we were doing a survey on the fan club. Of course, not many people.
You have a
The fan club. Yeah, of course I have a fan
Oh,
club.
I
You know
know.
that.
The guy-
And
I
Hervé,
heard it broke up because the guy died.
Hervé Swerve,
Hervé Villacek.
Villacek with a tattoo, and Vern Troyer. Of course, they're both are not here anymore.
I don't think, a lot of dwarfs don't live very long.
Yeah, but I said,
Except for
Mini-Me.
the last one.
Mini-Me, Vern Troyer has got my vote. Hank voted for tattoo, and we didn't get any other votes.
Well,
I wonder why.
Okay, I could even add some more people. There was a guy, Jewish guy from England called David Rappaport. He had a TV show,
Okay.
and he was in on LA Law and everything. He committed suicide. Another guy, there was also the dwarf who was in R2D2.
R2D2.
There was a dwarf that was in E.T.
R2D2, but that was a person. We didn't even know if it was a.
Kenny Baker.
Okay,
British.
that was a person that was inside of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a real robot. It was actually, and then I can tell you a whole bunch of famous dwarfs.
Okay.
Actors.
You
They're
say
almost
dwarfs,
all
I say
performers.
midgets, dwarfs, midgets, whatever, you know.
Okay, actually, neither one is correct. You should say little people.
Okay.
And then I'm not kidding you. Maybe 5 years from now, little people will be wrong. They should say
Okay.
people of a questionable height or something. I
Well,
don't know. What the
speaking of midgets, coming up here, we got the Cowboys and the New York Midgets playing the next Sunday
They
night.
always play.
Dallas
do it.
Cowboys and the New York Midgets.
You know the
Yeah.
New York Giants.
Oh, I'll follow that.
Their first game ever in the new Dallas Stadium, they beat Dallas. Okay, that was a few years ago. But a lot of you probably might remember this, that the first game ever played at Giants Stadium was the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants, and the Cowboys won. So it was almost like tit for tat there. Now let me tell you about dwarfs. My favorite dwarf, the one that was in the Wild Wild West, Michael Dunn. He was an Irish dwarf, and he actually was the only dwarf I think ever nominated for an Oscar, and that was for Ship of Fools. He's very good at it. But actually, I think there was another one, Linda Hunt, who's still alive. She was on the show NCIS.
Okay.
She won an Oscar for the Year of Living Dangerously with Mel Gibson.
I think
and
I
she played, yeah.
I think I
And
might
that's
know.
the only
Yeah.
other one I
Okay.
can think of. And then also, there was a movie with about Hervé Villacek, only made like a couple of years ago on HBO, and it had Peter Dinklage, who was on Game of Thrones and seems to get all the parts. Whenever there's a little person part, he seems to get the part. He says, I don't understand why dwarfs don't get parts. He goes, you get them all.
Well,
In fact, in the new Willy Wonka movie, Hugh Grant plays one of the Oompa Loompas, which is a travesty. Because I think, if you want to have open-mindedness, you should have dwarves playing Oompa Loompas. There's not a whole lot of parts for dwarves anyway.
Well,
so you might as well hire.
And the safety dance, you had a bunch of them in the men without hats safety dance.
Oh, there's a lot in there.
There were a lot in that video, dancing around.
There's a movie called by Werner Herzog.
Of course, the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, let me tell you about the Wizard of Oz.
Well, we know about one committed suicide.
Oh, and then there's hanging by a tree. Well, that's the rumor. But
urban legend, but they say that it's true.
The last,
They say it's true. I don't know.
the last survivor of the Wizard of Oz was a guy called Jerry Marin. He was of Italian descent, and he just died like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. He was on the Man Show with Adam Carolla. He was on the Seinfeld episode, and he was in a lot of stuff. And he was also one of the Lollipop Guild. We represent, and he was the last. He lived to be something like 95 years old. That guy. Another great dwarf was Harry Earls. He's in that same scene as one of the Lollipop Guild, but he's actually the star of the movie called Freaks. And if you really want to see a great horror film, check it out on TCM when it's on there, or get the video. It is so wonderful. It was made in 1931, and it actually uses real freaks. And political correctness, they wouldn't make
Freaks
that type.
do come out at night.
There are two
Freaks
movies.
come out at night, no doubt.
There are 2 movies they wouldn't make today, and that is Freaks and Blazing Saddles. And I'm kind of glad there was no political correctness, because I love those 2 movies. They're 2 of my favorite movies, Freaks and Blazing Saddles.
And there's TV shows that would then not be coming out with any of the certain TV shows that would be.
I Dream of
coming out.
Jeannie.
Well, that might. Wow.
I understand when they made a TV movie based on I Dream of Jeannie with Larry Hagman and Barbara Eden, she wasn't allowed to say master because master was a pejorative.
Well, yeah.
Someone could not say. It's actually master is actually almost like a thing you can't say because.
Well,
of
say
slavery.
yes, master.
Yeah, yes, master.
When you put a woman in a trance, she says yes, master. When you tell the woman to go down, she says yes, master.
Yes, master. There's
That's
a
what you did it.
I-
Hypnosis
I
does
don't
work, by
see
the way.
anything wrong.
Hypnosis does for you.
master of disaster.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But what we need to know and understand is that there are more shows coming up here, 28 years on pubic access and public access into the internet. And we do shows based upon the content of what we do. We base the show upon the free-flowing velvet verbal stuff that comes out of my mouth and out of everybody else's mouth that's on this show. So we tantalize and we make sure that everybody understands what we're doing. The Gorgeous George show is a masterpiece theater, and we bring it out there for everybody. It's based upon the content and upon what we do. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's how that bases upon. We have a lot going on, a lot to think about, a lot to do. We wanted, I think Labor Day was a very appropriate day to do a show because we're giving the labor.
Because Jerry Lewis is dead.
Well, is he?
and everyone moves up, and
Yeah.
now you should do your own telethon.
Yeah. Well,
You should do a telethon for hemorrhoids or something.
Well, we'll do a telethon for lovers.
You should do a telethon for whiskey dick.
Do a telephone. Well, that and Papa Blue Balls.
Blue balls.
And Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf's dick. We're gonna have a telethon. And we're gonna raise money to make it right, so Papa Smurf can get some, and then we cure the illness of blue balls, because we don't want people to have blue balls. And Papa Smurf will change colors back to what he was after he turned blue, having the lack of having that encounter.
I know I have a dozen old maids that don't give a damn about blue balls. That's why I don't date them anymore.
Yeah. Well, as long as they do what they need to do with them, as long as they take care of those balls.
That's
all they
the
gotta
problem.
do.
They didn't take care of them.
Yeah. Well, what do some women do to make sure the balls gets cleaned and put in the golf suite? Remember we were playing golf?
Oh, we were playing golf.
We're playing golf, and you said every divot and divot and divot of the balls are clean.
I heard that in a movie. I said, I want to wash your balls. I love to see my balls all nice and white and clean, and I want to see every dimple. Nice. Can I wash your balls for you?
Please let the man wash your balls. For the love of Christ, let the man wash your balls. You know they stink. You know they smell. They stink to high heaven. Let the kid wash your balls.
It was House Guest with Sinbad.
You know the parody that we're going with that, right?
Yes.
What,
Oh, we did a hella. You know, that's all very. I mean,
Bathe in the grandma.
I mean, why?
Bathe in the grandma.
Well, and listen, all you nice people out there, stop watching the show and just go back on his channel and just watch hundreds and hundreds of shows over 30 years, and you're just never gonna stop laughing.
Baby, it's a gift that keeps on giving, and it's not my fault. It's a gift that keeps on giving, like a Timex or a Rolex watch. It keeps on ticking. It keeps on licking, and it keeps on ticking. And ladies, you can lick. If it ticks, you lick. It's that simple.
I never asked.
And there's no, there's no matter. So just come down. There ain't no matter down below. Just come down and kiss. Kiss it really good. And then ladies, you might get kissed right back in that certain spot.
Did you? I've never asked you this. Are you wearing? I mean, do you ever wear a watch?
I used to. I need to get a new one.
Well, I
had
used to wear a watch all
Seiko.
the
I had a
time.
gold
You had a
Seiko.
Seiko?
I had a
Wow.
Seiko. Yes.
What? And where?
Well,
someone take it?
the clap came off and it broke and whatnot, and
You get fixed.
yeah, I get it fixed. But I need to get a new watch. I need to get a watch.
I've
I like
never
watches.
had I mean, a Seiko's a nice watch. I've never had an expensive watch like a Philip Patek
Or Rolex?
Philip. Never had a Rolex. Never had Omega. I never had any of these watches. And I read like really fancy magazines because the way I dress and everything, and they always have like a section for watches. And then you say, and then this is a very good watch. The time and the sweep second hand, and they go on and on and on and on and on. And then you look at the price, $69,000. I said, if I had $69,000, I wouldn't piss it away on a
It was on a
watch.
Listen, I won't even spend $500 on a freaking phone. Spend
Yeah.
$500 on a freaking phone. Let's
Exactly.
do that. That's ridiculous.
But I mean,
There's,
so the best watch I ever had was probably a Timex, and that was probably
Timex.
$25, $35.
What about like a?
I mean, in the day, they're more now, but in the day, they had fossil watches,
Fossil
and
watches.
those were really good. And now they've actually changed the fossil.
What about
If
the
you go to-
watches that like are, I don't know, north, east, south, west, or there's a compass watch.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm totally off. It has north, south, east, west, and it tells time through a dial.
Yeah.
And it's like a compass watch that gives you like where you're at, your northwest, your southeast, or your northeast, and it gives you the time through a compass or whatever.
Well, you know what? It's funny you mention that because
Yeah.
a lot of those what's kind of replaced really nice like Swiss technology and everything is I'm not kidding you, is just the Fitbit and stuff like that. They actually tell you, because of like satellites, they'll tell you exactly what time. And probably better than a Rolex or any of the really expensive watches.
Right.
And thus they've almost made typical watches kind of redundant and so many people now, everybody carries a cell phone. The cell phone now tells you very well what time it is, better than a watch. There's actually, when I was wearing a watch in the day, oh wait a minute, stop. And I need a battery in it, or I need to wind it up or something. And if you wind up the watch, then you tend to sometimes overwind it up, and then you break the damn thing. And I said, oh man, the watch was planned obsolescence. So yet people still buy $70,000 watches.
There you go.
I think even $1,000 is too much for a watch.
Well, anyway, so are we in labor tonight? I'm in labor. You're in labor. We're in labor. We're in the
Labor Day.
of love.
Labor Day.
Labor of love for what we do and how we present ourselves on camera. I am gorgeous. I am gorgeous in every way. And I give you ladies a labor of love by presenting myself so you get the full picture. This man isn't in labor. He's in labor of himself. He labors. I don't know. If he's had any kids, but I'm not ready to have a kid. He's going to have a kid here soon too. We all labor something. We all labor, and today's the day where we rest our labor. We rest our labor, take a little snooze, and relax. Hell, I should be at the beach right now. Maybe go on fishing. Go out there fishing or go crabbing.
You have no.
Go crabbing out there.
Wait a minute. Are you a fisherman? Did you ever go fishing
Kevin,
as a kid?
I was a kid. I fished about maybe once, and I know
Did Dad take you?
Well, yes, it was actually my Uncle Otto.
Your uncle.
My
'Cause
Uncle
no
Otto
one
took me
fishes
fishing.
in my family, and yet I had this great affinity for fishing. I just love fishing, and if anyone invites me to go fishing, I always go.
And then crabbing. Have you ever go out there and go out there crabbing, catching the crab?
Crabs are pinch you.
As long as you're not, as long as the crab is
fish
not,
out of the water, you're fine.
as long as the
But
crab's not in the
out of the
toilet.
water will still pinch you. What would you?
As long as the crabs are not coming out of the toilet or out of your young hole.
Crabs.
The toilet, they call hermit crabs.
Oh, yeah.
And call hermit crabs. You don't want to have anything to do with those.
Well, I never the pet hermit crabs. I actually like. I like crabs. Crabs are actually pretty good pets. You know, those hermit crabs that you probably saw as a kid, because they don't really need a lot of fuss. You can't really pet them, and you feed them like brine shrimp and stuff or whatever the hell. I don't even know what they. I don't even know what they eat. Remember those little turtles? Did you ever have one of those little pet turtles?
Snap turtles?
I'm not talking about a big turtle that snaps at you. I'm talking about those little turtles.
I know, and when you see those things on the road, God, there's big, humongous shell.
Oh yeah.
Big, humongous shell, and they're like on the road, and you like the other. Actually, it was funny you mentioned the other day. I saw one. I had to swerve to get around it. You just imagine you hit the dam, crack the shell, you kill it. You crack the damn shell of a turtle, you kill it. You don't do that.
You smash them with your tire. And let me tell you something. I was surprised. I thought I was going to get a nicer response from you. Whenever I see a turtle on the damn street, and maybe once every 10 years I see a turtle running across the street and everyone's swerving around it, I actually stop my damn car, pick the damn thing up, and move it to across the street. Because I like turtles a lot. Now, what's weird is turtles don't like me very much, because as soon as I pick it up, it tries to bite me, and turtles are totally oblivious to what's going on.
Yeah.
And so when I move it across, I said,
take some plants.
I'm smarter than a turtle. However, I probably won't live as long as a turtle.
Take some clamps or some pliers and pick it up, and then move it. Not using your hands. You move it with some tongs. Take some tongs and move it.
When I was a kid, I figured out you could get bit by a turtle.
Yeah.
If you grab a turtle from behind, it'll still kind of put up a fight, but it really can't do too much if you're holding it. It's like a helmet.
What's the guy in the Wild Kingdom to do that imitation? The Wild Kingdom.
This is Marlon Perkins, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. We're gonna have Jim Fowler give an enema to a gorilla, but while he's doing that, have you been? Are you insured against getting an enema yourself? Go to ask your Mutual of Omaha agent, and he will sell you a policy against getting an enema by a gorilla.
And you better watch those gorillas, man.
Yeah.
You better watch those damn gorillas and even those fucking monkeys.
Oh, let me
those
tell you
fucking
something.
monkeys
we had that discussion before.
Well, I know.
But gorillas. When I was a kid, I was terrified of gorillas. I probably thinking of King Kong. But even gorillas, like at the circus, I did not want to be anywhere near a gorilla. And a lot of times when you saw a gorilla at the circus, it was just a clown wearing a gorilla suit.
Right.
And but you know what? In real life, I think gorillas aren't all that tough. They are vegetarians. Gorillas. They don't eat people, and they're also. I don't know if you heard this. Gorillas only have as big an animal as it is. They're like humans, but they only have
closest thing to a human.
The closest thing to a gorilla, the primate. They only have a 2-inch. The largest penis they have is about 2 inches. Mm-hmm. Which they say, why is a big animal like that?
They gotta jerk it off. They gotta jerk it off, make it bigger.
And let me tell you something. The 2-inch penis. They said it doesn't stop them from. No matter how small your penis is, you could still. It's better than no penis. Yeah. And gorillas. This is evolution.
Right.
We evolved
from
the same animal.
Motion in the ocean or whatever.
That one side went to gorillas, one side went to us. We are more preoccupied with sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gorillas, you know, the 2-inch penis does them fine.
Yeah.
We've never had a shortage of gorillas. They're not like an endangered species, from what I gather.
Well, you know, just
Yeah.
imagine a gorilla and a midget together. There you go. A gorilla and a midget going to Pound Town.
When I was a kid,
Tell you
I
what.
thought a chimpanzee was a small gorilla and grew up to be a gorilla.
Yeah.
But they're two different animals.
Well, you got baboons too.
Baboons, and
Baboons
you have
and whatnot.
orangutan.
Orangutan.
And they're all primates. And one comedian I heard a joke was that every time she goes to the zoo and sees orangutans and chimpanzees and gorillas, she just like stares at them and says, you know, some of us evolved and some of us didn't. While you're like picking at your shit and masturbating in front of all these kids.
Yeah, but listen, you could be a monkey.
We actually are, you know.
You could be a
created-
monkey. You could be an animal or a gorilla or being yourself. And I've said this before. Any man that tells you he doesn't masturbate is a bold-faced liar. Get a little closer. I masturbate with regularity because I love to do so. I masturbate. Kevin, you know damn well that you masturbate too. Everybody masturbates. Every man you masturbated. Every man is masturbating.
Yeah, when I was like 13, maybe.
Oh, no, come on, man.
No, let me tell you something.
It feels better with pumice and Jergens. Lava too. And it feels better
It gets
with
rid of the
your own
crab.
hand. Well, no, but don't get me wrong. No, believe you me, no, it feels, no, I'm going to rescind that. Obviously, it feels better with a woman's mouth or a woman's hand. But it feels just as good with your hand, too.
Well, I'll tell you something about a woman's, you know, you talk about masturbating with your own hand. A woman, when you're a teenager, you have your 15-year-old girlfriend trying to masturbate you with they call it a hand job. I think that's what they call it. She has no idea how tight her grip is.
You know what?
And it's not even, at the end of it, it's not even a pleasurable experience.
Listen.
In fact, if I said, stop, you're holding, I'm going to die. It's almost like she's pulling the damn thing off.
Listen. How about doing it in your woman's shoe? Oh my God. That is nirvana. Putting in the woman's pump shoe and just going to town and thinking of her feet and thinking of her soul. And that is a real good exercise. It makes it grow really fast.
Well, that doesn't work with me. You know
That doesn't
why?
work for you?
Because I'm usually whenever I'm at a party, I'm drinking champagne out of that woman's shoe.
Well, that too. Well, then of course, then it ruins the texture of where her foot was, because you imagine her foot pumping your thing like it breaks. She's using her foot,
Actually, I
her
gotta
foot with nylons, pumping your thing like she's pumping it on the brakes of a car.
Well, let me tell you, the joke about masturbation is that I'll take your side for a moment. I said 95% of men masturbate, and the other 5% are liars.
Okay.
But let me tell
Everyone
you.
has.
But let me tell you.
Every man has done that.
But
I do it with regularity. Okay.
well,
It's good. Good study. It's good
if
stuff.
you have a
I do it.
steady girlfriend, you don't even think about it. You know, because
Well, even with that, you do both. You can do both.
how can you do both?
You can do both.
I tell you
Let's say
one
if she's
thing.
not around, you do it.
Okay, if she's not around and she catches you at it, and this happens to some guys I know, that she is truly insulted. I had a girlfriend in college, and she was, I went to college, so fancy university, and all these women were all still old maids, and they remained old maids throughout college. And I joked about it. She actually saw like a stack of Playboy magazines and stuff that I had, and she goes, "Why do you guys read these magazines? Masturbate or something. Why do you guys read these magazines? Don't you like the real thing better?" And I just stared at her. I didn't say anything, but I just stared at her. It's because of old maids like you, virgins like you, is why we read these damn magazines. And she was totally oblivious to the whole damn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I went to a prestigious school where Tina Fey went, and Tina Fey said she kept her virginity the whole 4 years in college. I said, and everyone said, "Oh, how could you do a thing like that?" And I said, "I went to that school. It's not that hard for those women."
Just for the taste of it, just for the squeeze of it, the taste and the squeeze. We are the Gorgeous George Show, and we've been the Gorgeous George Show for 28 years. We've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time, 28 years, and we continue a public service to people out there. The Gorgeous George Show is the masterpiece theater. We are what is causing all of this in entertainment, and will continue to do so. Okay, that's all you need to know.
You're quite the master debater, I think.
And that, well, we do.
When it comes to political jargon, you're
Okay.
the master debater.
And a massatorium. Massatorium is the word. All right. Yes, master. Go down to my crotch. Yes, master. And on that note, one Mona Lisa, one Leaning Tower of Pisa, and only one Gorgeous George. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. And we'll be seeing more of us. Just don't know when, but you'll see more of us very, very soon. Woo! Woo!
Whoopee!